Happy Sunday, everybody. This is Samantha of Sisters-in-Leggings, and I wanted to do this video after meeting with Katie and Bree on Friday just to talk a little bit about your Facebook group and a little bit about the different things that you can add to kind of spice up your page and make sure that you're ready for when you want to do your first sale or introduce your group to here. So the first thing obviously is the cover photo up here, and this I will frequently change. So I'll use photos from the group, I'll use different examples, things like that. It's a great way for your group to kind of see things quickly. I did like a LuLaRoe bump wearing one about pregnant people. I put like mommy and me sets. It's a great way to kind of show your customers that you care, but also kind of give them a snippet of what your page is about. Over here you can see members, then you can see our general feed. And with a Facebook group, you know, if you're looking to really market yourself on Facebook, consistent posting and often is key. If you're not looking to do Facebook nearly as often, then, you know, posting occasionally would be great. But to get those people engaged, you really want to post consistently as often as you can to ensure that you're engaging them in a very deliberate way. So I try to post generally once during the morning, once in the evening. If we're not doing a VIP, I sometimes will do a middle of the day post, like if we have something new comes in, or if I'm wearing a cute outfit for something, or if Marisa and I are working on something, we try to then incorporate whatever we're doing that day on our page. So then if you come over here, this is a description, and you're welcome to copy and paste this and modify it. We put our email address, we put a Google form to fill it out, and then we also put a Google form for returns. We've tried to get into a system where people fill this out more. It just keeps track of the returns easier, especially if they're mailing them back and forth. We also put our rules here. So like all invoices must be paid within 24 hours. We talk about our shipping here. People don't always reference this, but if you need it, it's kind of handy as well, so that's good. Then over here we have our members, and for those of you who don't know, we actually have 10 blocked. Once your group gets a little larger, you're going to deal with people who are, you know, I would be very careful who you're approving, so do that slowly. But you can see here, it says change to moderator, remove as admin, leave group. You can also block people that way, and when the approvals come in, you can also block people as they come in. So this is just kind of handy to see your members. You can also search for somebody, so if somebody needs to... you need to find somebody quickly, then you can find them pretty easily when it comes to checking on your page. Then here we have events. So you can either, I'll show you how to do this. You can create an event here, or you can do this drop down and create an event. When you go to create an event, and I can do a separate video for that, please, my biggest suggestion is to create the event within your group. So when you hit create event, this little part here, invite your friends in LuLaRoe. I try not to do that. It kind of spams my current friends. So I just unclick that and then I put in my details, online or otherwise. And what's nice about the event is that in your group, they'll get a little pop-up that says that you created an event. You can also use that event link to promote like VIP pop-ups. We have Marisa's Summertime Pop-Up Boutique coming up. And we indicated that it's in person. So we kind of use this. And then if people RSVP to this, it will remind them when the event is. The other thing is that if they have not RSVP'd, they sometimes will get a reminder that, hey, there's this event coming up. Do you want to attend? That kind of thing. So it's a great way to really, really get that interaction with your group. And this is one of the things where people get really excited. It's kind of just like a placeholder, save the date. Then you have photos, and then you have files here as well. So you can upload files, share docs, that kind of things. On the photos page, this is where you'll see like our people have shared things. I've shared things on our wall. I shared sneak peeks, and it's just kind of that engagement. And then under albums, we are finishing up our July 4th legging sale. So the only album that we regularly keep is a sizing album. This is random. I apparently never removed Zach, but he was from one of our first pop-ups. So it's just like a sizing guide, and sometimes people utilize that. Oh, goodness gracious. This is kind of like just a style guide to give you an idea of how sizing works, which is really great. So, so that's kind of how you do the photos are in the groups. Some VIPs choose to leave their inventory up all the time. I find that to be very, very high maintenance and very difficult to kind of track and keep on top of. So instead, we do our albums whenever we do our VIP party, and then we load them up individually. It sometimes takes a little longer that night, but then I feel like that anticipation is building, and I don't have to keep up with inventory of something someone purchased. This album I've left up for a couple days. I've had a few more purchases for them, and I mainly did that just because we had a busier weekend, and I figured if we can sell it, we can sell it. Great, not a big deal. We didn't have any other pop-ups. So that's generally what happens, but generally this is empty. When it comes to loading photos, I know if you've had that question, so you create an album and you can start loading it. So you would copy and paste your photos. It would start loading. A couple of points about your album. Since you are always going to be creating a new album, so some people leave placeholders. Like if you always have Nicole's, they leave a placeholder, Nicole. If you want to upload your albums new each time you do a pop-up, then this is going to show up with a date. You're going to want to change that. Let me just finagle this real quick so you can see it. You want to change this date, and you want to put whatever the item is so that people are aware of the price and the product. You can also put a description there if your VIPs don't really know what it is yet, but this is great because then you can say it's the name of the album, and then you would do post leggings, and then that's kind of what happens. If you want to do more than one at a time, then you go here, and normally I have them up a little bit quicker than this, but you would basically go, you can make a couple different tabs, you would do photos, you would create the album, you would create another album, and the interface that you would get, so you would copy and paste those, the interface you would get would be the same as this. So it's all loading. So this would be loading, this would be loading, this would be loading. You'd have a bunch of tabs here. The big thing is that once the album is ready, you click post, but you don't want to click each album. Like if all 5 get done at the same time, you don't want to click them all at the same time. You just want to click them one at a time. Give it some time for them to purchase, give it some time for them to see what's in the album, that kind of thing. So, but your albums will then be ready so that you can go ahead and post when they're ready for them. The reason why, I'm going to delete these. The reason why this is so incredibly important, it's going to take a second now to delete out. The reason why it's so important is that one of the things that I've found in all of the groups, so I've been around with LuLaRoe purchasing for over a year. One of the things that I found is that the quicker you are, the better. People don't want to wait 2 to 3 hours for you to load all of your inventory, and obviously you get better over time. But if you can get those up quickly, it allows them to purchase quickly and go from there. So that's probably one of the easiest ways to upload albums really quickly. The big thing you need to be careful of is that I've done it this way and I've also done it individually. They both don't take a ton of time, but you really have to be careful of Facebook jail. There's not a specific algorithm of what works and doesn't, but if you post too quickly or you post the same thing too quickly, Facebook will sometimes lock you out and not enable you to really do anything, which then makes your VIP pop-up incredibly difficult. One of the tips that I gave Katie and Bree is, in addition to if you're doing it with someone like a partner, in addition to them, we put our husbands. My husband Jim is in here, and I also have a cousin and my niece are also admins, so that if anything happens, I can utilize their account to continue posting as needed so that that's not interrupted. We have yet, knock on wood, to go into Facebook jail, but that's just something for you to keep in mind. So probably tomorrow I'll delete all these albums and we will keep it empty. Again, some people will keep like the main pictures up and their albums up here, but that's really entirely up to you. And I find a lot of it is your personal style. The last thing I want to say about the Facebook group is that part of what I love about LuLaRoe is you're able to create your own specific voice. So there's some consultants who only do Facebook Live. There's some consultants who only do Periscope. There's some consultants who only do VIPs or private events. And it's really being able to customize that, and your page is the same way. I found that the best way that works for us is to create genuine relationships where they feel, they feel valued, you listen to their needs, and you really genuinely care about them. And you'll soon find that the rest kind of falls into place as far as that goes. One other element that I want to talk to you about on this page is this portion right here. Make sure my camera's straight. Create poll. So we did a poll a couple weeks ago to see if anybody wanted to participate in Leggings Roulette. On the side note, I have heard from plenty of groups that for some it works really well, for others it doesn't. Maurice and I right now are opting not to do that, and we can talk to you about why, but we're not going to obviously do that ourselves. So I created a poll here because then my members can give me some input. So you can ask a question, you can add poll options, and then you can add different options, and then they can give you their responses about it. But it's nice because it's a quick snippet. So like, do you want us to have an outfit sale? What would you feel about a mystery legging sale? Those sorts of things. That really gives you an opportunity to interact with them and get their feedback if that's something you would want. Over here you can see our upcoming group events again. Here's one that you can just see how it's created. Pretty basic. So you can see it was created in our group. It has a cover page, cover photo, a title, a quick snippet, and then the details. And then we put Maurice's home, and obviously we'll share the address as we get closer. So that's basically a quick way around your VIP page. Some of you are already situated in here and ready to go. So if you have any questions, please let me know, and we're happy to do that for you. Have a great night and a fantastic week.